smile and some black fingernails. It might look like an easy mark, but he knows the score. One bite from his pointed fangs, you'll be under the floor. Rednecks with white faces, don't go putting them down. Rednecks with white faces, they ain't no rodeo clown.
Forward from my own direction, no one can pull me out. I've always felt different from the others, I'm running away now. Fears are fading, won't stop breathing. Cause I'm sick of standing up instead of going down. I'm sick of never being able to cross the line. I'm sick of pretending everything is fine. You got it, you're just a fucking freak like me. But I am alive. I'm not the one that you used to know. I've always hated to act like the others. I found my way to. Tears are fading, won't stop bleeding. Fears are fading. Cause I'm sick of standing up instead of going down. I'm sick of never being able to cross the line. I'm sick of pretending everything is fine. You got it, you took a fucking break like me. Cause I'm sick of standing up instead of going down. I'm sick of never being able to cross the line. I'm sick of pretending everything is fine. You got it, you're just a fucking freak like me. Fucking freak like me.
And boom, just like that, it's Thursday night. That means it's party time with the Video Bros. I'm one half of that team. I'm Bobby Munson, and the man beside me, the man with the angelic voice, Papa Smokes. Papa Smokes, how you doing on this Thursday night, my man?
Ooh, yeah, Munson, I'm ready to rock and roll tonight. I'm feeling good, and let's talk some wrestling tonight, baby.
Oh, we got some wrestling to talk about, and it wouldn't be a Thursday night without our other partner in crime, that man right there, Brian Carter, B. Carter, kicking it off with us. Let's go. That's right, my friend. We're talking some SPW New Zealand here tonight. We're also going to be talking a little bit about Prairie Pro Wrestling because Papa Smokes, earlier today, there was the announcement of the big show coming up, and we're going to talk about that in a moment because Prairie Pro Wrestling and Thursday nights are never the same without this person right here. That's Aunty Wuji. How you doing? So glad to see you. Sup, dudes? It's going to be a fun night tonight. We're excited. I'm excited. I mean, huge Papa Smokes. I mean, we knew April 22nd was right around the corner. We knew there was a show coming up. But in good old Prairie Pro Wrestling fashion, we dropped the poster here just before the start of the month for you. And that poster, oh, what a beautiful looking thing that is. Looks fantastic. And matches were announced. It's Prairie Pro Wrestling presents the Bridge City Beatdown, and it's going to be a big night, Papa Smokes. We're going to be kicking things off with a lot of fun and excitement that night. But two matches have been announced for this card. Of course, we know from the results of the last card that Colton Kelly is going to be in the main event taking on Sheik Akbar Shabazz for the Prairie Pro Wrestling Championship. But just announced today, we are going to have the rematch between Colton Kelly and El Asesino as well. Huge news for Prairie Pro Wrestling.
Cannonball Kelly, Munson. Cannonball versus El Asesino.
Sorry. I get my balls busted even on this show. I mean, first it's you and El Asesino busting my chops. I mean, there's a lot of Kellys in Prairie Pro Wrestling, let's admit.
No chop busting, Munson. I know you got a lot on your mind, but I just want to make sure if this is the first announcement, let's get that information out there. Yeah, Cannonball versus El Asesino. And you know those two don't like each other and have a long history. This one's going to be violent, and you know the Cannonball's not scared to take the fight out into the crowd, into the parking lot, into the damn concession area. He'll do it anywhere, and the fans love him for it.
You bet. And as B. Carter saying, I love Asesino. It reminds me of Laparca. Yeah, he's just about as crazy and psychotic as what Laparca can be as well, too. You got to watch out for El Asesino. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a ring announcer, whether you're a video pro at ringside, whether you're a fan even. I've seen a lot of people have themselves getting a little bit of a squabble with El Asesino at the shows. And speaking of the shows, I mean, the PPW Nation are just electric, especially with this man right here. Besser! How you doing, sir? Good to see you out. Thanks for joining, as always. Bling, bling. Thanks, buddy. It's going to be a hell of a night on April the 22nd. Very excited. We announced today that there was going to be a limited 20 seats. It is... I squabble with high. 20 seats, Papa Smokes. We announced this. 20 seats that were going to be available at a premium price because, you know, seating is very limited. It becomes standing room only very quickly. Who doesn't? I mean, if you're in the area and he walks near you, watch out, because that's just the way Asesino is. He has a hate on for everybody. Something must have happened to him as a child, I swear it. But he won't tell me it. He doesn't tell me shit, so I don't really know. But I'm getting
just what you need to know, Munson. Just what you need to know.
The bare minimum. That's what Munson's in on when it comes to this stuff. But that's okay. I got Papa Smokes here to dig deep on everything to do with Prairie Pro Wrestling for us. But it's going to be an electric night, Papa Smokes. Very much looking forward to it. We announced that limited seating at a premium price. 20 seats that are going to be available for reserved seating for the PPW Nation. And you'd think, hey, you know, maybe people would think twice, you know, doubling their ticket price to get reserved seating. Oh, hell no. Less than 5 damn minutes, Papa Smokes, and all 20 seats absolutely gone. This thing is going to be chaotic. It is going to be wall-to-wall traffic. The PPW Nation are coming out huge. They're traveling in, Papa Smokes. I got a dude coming from your neck of the woods, Winnipeg, coming out there that night as well, too. We've got a good friend of ours, another regular here on our local establishment, my brunch buster brother, Chris Parrish. He's making the drive down to party with the video bros. So, I mean, damn, it's going to be electric that night, Papa Smokes. I might have to be on my best behavior for some of it, though. I got some of my customers from my shoot job actually coming out as well, too. I don't know if I need to show them that side of me yet or not.
That's quite the marketing strategy you have there, Munson. Bring the customers to the local wrestling show. I like it. It's more fun than a round of golf, I would say.
Yeah, not only that, I convinced the vendor to come out from Manitoba and pay for it all. He's taking these guys out for supper, wine and dining, and then he's coming out and he's expensing a Prairie Pro Wrestling show. It is absolutely awesome that I was able to make this happen. I can't wait. Let it all hang out. Yeah, you know what? We want everything, everybody hanging out. It's going to be one big party again. Papa Smokes, I can only imagine we're going to get up to no good after that show, April the 22nd. I think one of the local establishments, dare I say, is going to be privy to a Video Bros party like never before with some of our very close friends and anybody who just wants to join us in general. Good job, Munson. I hear that one a lot, but it's totally used very sarcastically. Good job, Munson. Yeah, way to go. But I know this time it's not, so I'm going to take the compliment. So, And we got Basser. Basser's down for a banger. Oh, we know you're down for a banger, Basser. We know. Basser's joined in on a video bro party already once before, a couple times now, actually. I mean, we were the first time was time when we were sucking on a chili dog, as I dare I say, take the words out of Basser's mouth right there. There we go. There he is. He's joining the party. It's Chris Parrish talking about people who are going to be out there partying with us on April the 22nd. Do you think any local establishment is really going to be able to, supply all the alcohol beverages that are going to be required for this level of Party Pop Smokes?
Well, probably not one by itself, but Munson, remember where we're going to be that night at Cosmo Hall, just off Broadway, baby. Mm-hmm. Hey, there's like 10 bars in about a 4-block span. We're going to be all right, man. We can hop, we can visit, we can do whatever we want. And we have a couple places that are green grass for guys like us. We'll be just well taken care of that night. All we got to do is make sure we got enough to drink.
Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a time. And again, a lot of your Prairie Pro Wrestling favorites are all going to be on the card. And you never know who may show up, Papa Smokes. It is going to be fantastic. And, maybe if it's done in time, a little bit of an extra little zazz to the show. I think we're going to bring something a little bit more electric to this one if it's prepared in time. I've kind of been working on a little bit of a project in preparation for this show, Papa Smokes. I'm hoping that it'll be unveiled. Really excited about it. It's going to be a great time. And also, a big shout out to NJ who made that song Akimbo. The video is coming up very, very soon. I was talking to NJ today, Papa Smokes, and we are going to get to play that song right here on Ring Respect Radio on a Thursday night. Once the video comes out, I've got full permission from NJ to be able to play that track and the video that accompanies it, which features some of the Prairie Pro Wrestling roster right here on Ring Respect Radio. It's going to be an awesome, awesome time. Well, and what a great song, too.
No, I like it. And how cool is this? We got a little bit of a culture crossover, as they say, professional wrestling with the world of hip-hop. It's that they go hand in hand quite well for a long time. All the big rap guys like wrestling a whole bunch. And as you can see, some of the local guys quite into the local scene of wrestling as well. And I'm just thrilled to see some of the PPW hardworking talent and all that getting featured in a hip-hop video. This is so cool, Munson. As the kids say, extremely cool.
Extremely cool. Did the kids still say that? I don't know.
Probably not. No, I guess not. I don't know what they say.
Maybe my generation did. I'm not too sure. But that hold on here. Oh, we have a question from. When does the Video Bros tag team debut? You know what? I mean, we're secretly like the undisputed, non-defending tag team champions of Prairie Pro Wrestling, I would say. I mean, nobody's challenged us. Not that I would accept said challenge.
I hope they don't. Yeah, I really hope they don't.
You leave us alone, man. I'll just give you a belt. I mean, we don't have an official belt, but I could buy a black strap from the local Walmart and put a little some sort of something fancy on the front to make it look, semi-pro.
Well, the last thing I need in my life right now is to get bitch slapped by the Rhinestone Cowboys. So I'm going to leave the action to the wrestlers themselves.
Yeah, that's true. And the Rhinestone Cowboy, again, has created quite a name for himself in Saskatoon with the PPW Nation. I mean, we saw a huge turnout, particularly for him last time. Again, we had a lot of people there that just wanted to get in on the fun and excitement of joining the Rhinestone Cowboy. And again, that's going to happen again. And yeah, it's hilarious. We're not joking, man. I don't want to be bitch slapped either. Like, I don't care who it is on the PPW roster. I mean, I might be a stickler for punishment sometimes, but we got some pretty tough competition there. And I don't want to be on the receiving end of what they're dishing out personally.
Maybe us a tag team in a handicap match against Merle. I might go for that.
Yeah, we'll bring Merle back for a one-touch. He'd still beat our asses, Papa Smokes. I
don't know about that. I don't know about that one, Munson. That's the one that I could maybe imagine we could defend our belts, but only that one.
Oh, only that one? But just one of us will have to fucking hold him back while the other one just gets in there and starts feeding. That's our only chance of
Oh yeah,
opportunity
well
there.
we're gonna have to cheat. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna
well,
cheat our asses off. Yeah.
Well, of course. I mean, it's not like we actually have the ability of a pro wrestler. Definitely don't have the ability of a pro wrestler. We talk a lot of shit for two guys who have never actually been in there and done this sort of thing. So,
But I could choke someone with the tag rope, no problem.
hey, that's not a bad idea. That's a fancy old move if I ever saw one, Pop Smokes. I
Oh,
like that.
I got a million of them once, and trust me.
Oh, look at them. Maybe we have some backup.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That would work. I mean, you
Now
don't
we're
talk about
talking.
experience and somebody who would have our backs. There we go. It's our boy Chris Parrish. Of course he'd
Now
have
we're
our back.
talking.
Why not? Jump on in, of course. Yeah, we'll hold him back, and then we'll let Parrish do the actual wrestling because he's the only actual wrestler out of the three of us. So, yeah, not gonna deny that opportunity. Come on in, Chris Parrish. But Papa Smokes, we did come here to talk about wrestling outside of Prairie Pro Wrestling. Of course, we do love Prairie Pro Wrestling, and we do a lot of promotion of it here, and you're going to hear more of that coming up in the coming weeks. I know you will. But we're going to talk about another company, and this one is Wrestling on the Edge of the World. We're going all the way over to New Zealand for this one, and I know I've spoken very highly of SPW New Zealand for many years to you, Papa Smokes. I started as a writer. I did some writing for various publications, and in doing so, I was tasked with covering SPW New Zealand for a while. So I was, had the opportunity to kind of closely work with them. They gave me access to their company's service that they offer for all their events and everything. I would watch the events, review them, do the write-ups and everything like that. I mean, yeah, it would be good. And hold on here. We got Aunty Wuji coming in. I think I'd look hot in a singlet. Well,
We got a big team now.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, yeah, we're unstoppable now. Fuck it, we don't even have to do any of the heavy lifting here, Papa Smokes. Like, this is fantastic. We're just sit back and just keep rolling in the gold, keep running our mouths, talking shit like we're the best duo ever, kind of thing. It works in our favor. I did too until I put one on. Oh, that is awesome. Oh my God, Parrish. Oh man, you got Basser rolling now too. Look at this. you know, Basser's busted a gut. Basser, you got our backs here too, buddy.
That's a guy that should be wearing a singlet in the front row, if anybody should be.
We'll put him in one of those Borat mankinis or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Oh, Aunty Wuji's finisher would be the wiener toss. Oh man, this, I don't even think we're gonna get to talking about anything. We keep this train rolling. This is fucking hilarious. I love this shit. This is fun.
This writes itself.
My finisher's called the Too Soon. Ask my wife.
Could be done in conjunction with the wiener toss, maybe.
Oh, that is a tag team specialist move if I ever heard one right there. Oh man, this is great. Who fucked the notes? Oh, let's just keep it rolling. But yeah, no, let's talk a little bit. I was starting to get off track here. I mean, I'm used to going off the rails on Sundays, not as much on a Thursday night. But this is great. You guys are a great bunch. Love it. But we're talking about SPW New Zealand. So I had done some article writing about them. Bob Smoke, got very familiar with their roster and everything like that. And I always said to you, sometime we'll sit down and we'll give an opportunity to watch them, review them. I wanted to kind of show you a little bit of what was going on over there. Parrish coming in, do you need me to jump in to help you get back on track? I think we're there. I think we're rolling. The train is steering in the right direction. Finally, we're cool. But I mean, you're always welcome to join the video, bros, man. You know where the fuck we are. Like, okay. But SPW New Zealand, Pop Smokes, this was the Queenstown Wrestlefest from 2020. And I know one guy that I talked about a lot because I love the gimmick a lot. Just in general, listening to him talk, the way he dresses in the ring. I'm talking about the Hooligan Marcus Kool. And I just love it because he is a soccer player or football player as it is. He actually is a legitimate one. And then he wrestles as well too, and he comes out with that gimmick, wearing a soccer jersey, wearing the shorts. He's got the cleats around the neck, and he's full of a lot of energy, and that's why they had him kicking off the show in this way.
Yeah, the guy can talk too, right? Like he had no problem coming out. I thought he was the host of the show at first, and then I realized, oh, he's wearing his gear and stuff. He might be in the first match, but man, he connected with the crowd beautifully on that opening monologue, and then just set it up perfectly for his opponent to come out and start trash talking him, and then boom, we got a match on the way.
Yeah, we really did. And yeah, that's right. His opponent, Jack J. Bonza, was going to be that match later on in the evening. So just for a little bit of a background, Jack J. Bonza comes from the other area, that talking about Australia. So this is another area that I covered as well too during my article writing time. So I became familiar with Jack J. Bonza. Former tag team champion. He's been at the top of the card over in Australia for quite a long time. This dude can be very physical. He's got a pretty solid look about him as well too. He comes out looking like somebody who's going to be giving you a good old solid beatdown, and that's exactly what he did to Marcus Kool in this one. But you're going to be in it for a fight later on. They show you with video packages the history of these two guys, what they bring to the table. One thing I did want to mention as well too is like they got some pretty decent production value with SPW New Zealand. Like they don't cheap out on anything. They've got the 2 video screens up at the top. They've got the graphics showing you who's in the matchup. They've got their David Dunn, their ring announcer, is also on commentary there. One half of the commentary team does a good time explaining things, getting you to know things. And I thought it was cool, Marcus Kool actually coming out as well, not only giving David Dunn a moment, getting him to get a cheer from the crowd and everything like that, but also giving a shout out to Matthew, the cameraman. I thought that was a nice little touch there too, being camera guys ourselves, that he's just giving that shout out to the work that he does. And he drops a few names of people that are behind the scenes that don't always get those kind of accolades and everything like that. I thought it was a really nice touch by Marcus Kool on this one.
Yeah, I also did. It gives that feeling, we've talked about it on here before, that feeling of kind of wrestling community, that there's the fans that are so important with the energy they bring, but then there's the talent, and then the people that work behind the scenes too, from the people serving the drinks to the cameramen to the people that clean up afterwards and do 50-50 draws and all that kind of stuff, all the volunteers that help throughout that. It gives a good feeling, and I know that the fans appreciate that as well. One thing I wanted to bring up while we're still just talking in the early part of this card was that I liked this venue. It's called the Queenstown Memorial Center. Mm-hmm. And on one side of the ring was devoted to the entrance ramp. Then on the 2 adjacent sides, they had maybe 3 or 4 rows of fans, just small sections. And then that back section opposite from the entrance ramp must have had how many rows, Munson? 30, 40, 50, like quite a lot of seats. That's the main side to sit on. So probably it's kind of more like a theater mostly, but yeah, they've got it rigged up for wrestling, had all the fancy lights and all that. But the way they were playing to that one side with 95% of the fans on it, it looked cool. And you could tell that their fans are totally invested in it. And they knew everything. They have a song for everybody that they sing. Yeah. And it's cool. I just wanted to mention the venue because they had it looking good, man. And all those pink and purple kind of lights at the entrance and everything. And it looked pro. Like the production value was probably even a bit more than the value of the the actual action of the wrestlers themselves. But this, of course, helps to sell it, right? So they got a good thing going on there, and I like the way they're doing it in Queensland Memorial Center.
Yeah, and B. Carter saying, venue is important. I hate fully lit high school gyms for indie wrestling. And yeah, completely understandable. And this is a far cry from that. Not to say SPW's never gone down that road again. This isn't their regular venue or anything like that. They do the Queenstown Wrestlefest on a yearly thing, so they bring it down to that area of New Zealand. Again, obviously, Hooligan Marcus Kool from that area, and that's his big thing. That's why he got to introduce this one. And this was being taped for TV as well too, so they wanted it to look really sharp, a lot of high production, and they do. They put a lot into it. They invest a lot into it, and it's fantastic. They also do a lot of putting everything into their training as well too, because let's face it, there isn't a whole lot of wrestling companies in New Zealand, so it is limited, generally speaking, to SPW New Zealand and as well as IPW as well too. Impact Pro Wrestling in New Zealand are two of the ones, at least the two main ones that I'm aware of. I'm sure there are others, but those are kind of the two places you can go. I know that the guys behind SPW New Zealand also do a lot of the training of the young talent that you see in the ring as well too, and they've given them an opportunity to get out there and hopefully open the door for them to be able to eventually travel and see the world in this industry.
That's cool. And did you know, Munson, a little fun fact about New Zealand? It's not a heavily populated place. There are more sheep than people in New Zealand because it's very mountainous. And that gives you a little hint as to what people do there. Yeah.
Or as they were first known, right? The New Zealand Sheephearders.
Yeah, the Kiwi Sheephearders. That was the main heel tag team for a long time in the 70s and 80s. And you know that now, Munson, because we watched some of their Houston stuff and reviewed it on this podcast years and years ago.
Yeah. And my mind was blown because, again, I'm used to Luke and Butch, the fun-loving, licking kids' heads type guys, the ones that I got to meet as a kid and was, oh, my God, these guys are so full of energy, so happy and excited. And then you go watch this, and my fucking childhood got destroyed in one matchup. Here these guys are shredding each other up, shredding guys apart, putting forks in faces. Like this was some pretty scary shit from the Kiwi Sheephearders.
Yeah, they were the baddest of the bad as far as tag teams went for a long time. And isn't that funny that they're remembered for that few-year run at the end of their career when they got turned babyface and that's it, hey? But they terrorized the globe for decades.
Yeah, they, at least they got to have that, and then go on to have that push to being, so publicly known that that's what people remember him for. But again, I encourage people, just like you did for me, Papa Smokes, to open up, to go back and check out some of these guys long before they were in those gimmicks and stuff like that, and see what they did before, because it is a whole different world and just fantastic. A lot of great stuff that you can find on YouTube. Speaking of wrestling, though, Papa Smokes, let's start getting into some of the matches from SPW New Zealand. I wanted to talk to you about this. First one up, we have Cutter with his tag team partner Ryder. They're part of a faction called Detention. That faction has been around for quite some time, but I believe Cutter is the newest member of that, now in a tag team with Ryder, taking on the guy who is holding the SPW Fight for Gold briefcase. So this is the briefcase similar to a Money in the Bank or Tony Khan's donut hemorrhoid ring or whatever it is that you can cash in for a title opportunity down the road. So Wana Fight is the owner of this briefcase at the moment, having won this recently. First of all, I just want to mention and get your thoughts on it, but Wana Fight's entrance is pretty cool. I mean, the design of it, the music that he's got behind it, the shades, the way he looked at the camera at the right moment to kind of cue up the song with the shades, doing the different LED lighting that they did. I thought that Wana Fight has a really cool look about him and everything. You could tell that he's a little bit more seasoned. I know that I've watched him wrestle a few times before as well too, and reviewing some of these shows. So you can definitely see that there's been a lot of progression from Wana Fight, and I can see why the company is trusting in him with a briefcase like that, looking to maybe push him a little higher up the card. You can tell Cutter is very new, very, very new, very young in this business. Got a long way to come, but again, he was working with somebody with a little bit more experience who allowed him to get his shit in. And, again, this was what you'd expect from, I think, most opening matchups on a card of almost any kind of this type of production. I'm not going to say it wasn't bad or nothing like that at all. I'm not trying to lean towards that. It's not going to blow your mind, but it was a decent way to start off a card.
Yeah, it's a preliminary match, or a curtain jerker, as they like to say. The very first guys out through the curtain. Yeah, Cutter is a little on the green side, but Wana Fight with that entrance, his entrance was the best part of this whole match, but by a long shot. And just the way it was, it was just the way that they had it choreographed. I think is that he's working with the cameraman, right? And they've got it all set up so that it looks good. Like this is what they do in the big companies too. The wrestler knows where the camera is going to be, where it's moving, where to move, all that stuff. That's what this guy has down pat. He's not just walking out, he's making an entrance that looks good on TV. And with the LED stuff and the lights and everything, it's very eye-catching. It would have looked cool to the live audience too, I think. And yeah, he was pretty okay in the ring too, but I like the way he's selling himself with a very excellent looking entrance like that.
Yeah, again, like we said earlier, sometimes the presentation and stuff like that can be half the battle. I mean, you're selling everybody on you, and he stands out like a sore thumb right away. He's got that cool factor. Obviously, the fans really love it. They were very, very behind him in this one. But yeah, as you said, like again, they're trying to do their best to work with Cutter as he's very green, and I'm not saying that in a negative way. He's clearly been trained well. He's going to come along nicely with time and the more experience that he has inside the ring with experienced guys. And obviously Wanna Fight is one of those guys that has got enough experience to be able to get in there, show him, allow him to get some of his stuff in and do the best to, kind of get him over. I mean, the fact that we're talking about him in this kind of length means that I see that there's definitely some potential there with him. Again, I think, he's going to have to get some years of experience in the ring and then, maybe put on a little bit of extra beef. He's not the biggest, most physical guy yet, but I'm sure, again, it comes with time, right? Like, I mean, the older you get, you start to build it up and everything like that, and he'll get there.
For sure. And this is how it's done, right? Is not everybody's an experienced veteran when they get in the ring, but this is what this guy needs to do. He's young. He's got to be working out in the gym, doing the practice sessions in his dojo, wherever it is. And then also he needs experience like this in front of a big crowd with the TV cameras rolling, because as we know, that's part of it too. It's one thing to do some nice moves in front of your trainer and a couple of your buddies at the training academy, but it's another thing with the lights and the crowd and people yelling at you and the nerves and all that kind of stuff, cameras leaning in, getting close-ups of you. It can be nerve-wracking, especially in those early years. So that's what this guy needs, and that's what he's going to get. And as far as training his body and all that, that's another thing. Is I've seen some guys start hanging out with the boys, the fellow wrestlers, and that's what a lot of those guys like to do, is work out. They know what workout regimens to use. They know stuff about diet and supplements and all that. You can get it going. You just gotta put the grind in.
Yeah, you really do, and they'll get there for sure. And B. Carter saying that was quite the entrance by the Rhinestone. Yeah, the Rhinestone Cowboy, quite the entrance every single time. Really gets the PPW Nation fired up, and I think Son of Irish weight trains with the Billingtons. Poor Irish. Hey, Irish is a great wrestler, and again, he's young, man. He's young. It's same with the Billingtons. They're young. They're all young guys. It's going to come with time. They work their asses off. They'll get there, man. They're all great individuals, great wrestlers, and they're working on it for sure. But yeah, I mean that's one thing that could be said here. Obviously, the Wanna Fight ended up going over in this matchup. Clearly, that was the best decision of all. It came from a bit of a distraction, but we definitely got there. Let's go up to the next one. And this one, this one was the one I was glad was on this card, Pop Smokes, because I know I talked up one of the guys in this matchup to you quite a bit. We're talking about the IPW New Zealand champion, Jamie Tagataese, and he was going to be defending that title for the first time in an SPW ring, and he was defending it against T-Rex. Now, T-Rex, I believe, is one of the minds behind SPW New Zealand, or at least he's been there since the start, helped kick things off. I believe he's also one of the trainers over there, and Paris saying if he does, then MLW should be calling. It's a good point, I mean, the Billingtons are over there. Why not Son of Irish, too? I think he'd be good in that middleweight division. But yes, Jamie Tagataese taking on the human hate machine, T-Rex. This is a big boy fight, Papa Smokes, and I liked this one. This was good, and this is a perfect example of why I wanted to show you this. JB Tagataese, very new to the industry, even at this point, 2020. I'm sure he's got a little bit more experience behind him yet now, but he's a big guy. He's got a cool look. I think he's going to be able to connect with fans with time. I think this guy needs to do some traveling and get his name out there because I think they've got something in JB Tagataese.
Yeah, I got to agree with that, and he looked real good coming out in this too, and he's one of those South Sea Island looking guys. He's got the curly, crazy hair and everything, and he's got a big, strong body and a bunch of intensity when he comes out. They just call him the big man, hey, like the big man. That's his name.
Yep.
And he comes out. He reminds me almost a little bit of a Jeff Cobb type thing, where he's got a lot of power in that body, and the fans really take to this guy. But can you answer me this, Munson, just about this card? Is that I kind of thought this was going to be the main event later, and then they ended up having it as the second match. This can't have been the second match on the card, could it? Because it was for the championship.
But it was for the other company's championship. It was the first time their company's championship defended in SPW, and that's why the match at the end of the night was actually for the SPW New Zealand championship, and that's why that one went last on the card. Yep.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, even at this point, and again, I don't know how long the streak lasted. I mean, maybe it lasted even longer because COVID shutdowns would have happened, which would have put things on hold shortly after this event. But JB Tagataese was, I believe, over 600 days undefeated as champion of IPW New Zealand. Then this guy had a streak going for him, having beaten the best of the best. Now making his way over to SPW, wanted to be able to show off his skill there and really bringing it with the Human Hate Machine. The Human Hate Machine's been around a long time. He's been at the top of the mountain, SPW New Zealand as well, too. Is a big man. He looks intimidating. He's got some great physical power about him. He can move pretty decent for a big man as well too, and these two took it to each other. And again, there was some spots where Tagataese even showed his power on display and just tossing T-Rex a couple of times. I'm talking about a big man to be tossed around the way he was by Tagataese.
Yeah, you can see that T-Rex used to probably look a little bit better than that. You can see that the years are marching on him a little bit, but of course always the veteran is the dangerous guy because he knows all the tricks and everything, and he was up to all kinds of tricks in this match. But they wrestled some in the ring. They wrestled outside the ring. There was some furniture involved. This was a big brawl, and it was fitting of a championship match. The other company, that's pretty cool that they work together and share talent and even have championship matches on each other's cards, because that can only benefit both companies in the long run, I would think. But this was a couple of big hosses for a big fight in the middle of the ring, and I like this as one of my introductions to New Zealand wrestling, because they got a couple sides of beef just laying it into each other.
Yeah, they really do. And again, so that one took place, and then all through the night too, they were playing video packages for their battle royal that's coming up. Again, one of their big shows known as the SPW Southern Rumble. And I'm giving you this background story because the next guy up in the next match, Cool Guy Sky, had a special intro that came out. It's Sky's Rumble is what he hashtag Sky's Rumble, and a countdown to the Rumble coming up. So he's coming out here looking like, okay, this guy, he's got swagger, he's got the really flashy gear with the paint colors and everything like that, looking like he's really the cock of the walk. The fans love it. They're into it. Against Charlie Roberts, the Alpha League, Charlie Roberts, a little bit more that serious tone and everything like that. He's going to be in there, try to be the tough guy in this thing. So this one takes place, and I'm thinking they're promoting Sky's Rumble. That he's really going over the top for this. This one's got to be going his direction. They kept mentioning that both these guys coming off losses from the recent the recent event, which was the SPW Fight for Gold, and that they're looking to get back into things. Not too bad of a matchup here. Again, this one, the action was pretty good from both guys. Obviously, clearly, both guys a little bit more experienced in this one. What did you think overall of these two gentlemen? I was going to say gentlemen, and just as I said that, look who joined the fold. It's Melball. Melball, how you doing tonight? How you doing? Let us know. We're just chatting, talking some SPW, talking whatever.
Having
the
some
shit.
laughs. Yeah,
No,
we're
we
having
had some good laughs.
tonight.
Oh, yeah, we got some funny fuckers here tonight. It's been a good night so far. So, but yeah, I want to know what did you think of the Alpha League, and also what you thought of Cool Guy Sky here in this one, Pop Smokes.
Yeah, I was a little confused about Cool Guy Sky. I this is my first match seeing of his, so I didn't know what was going on with some of his entry video and all that stuff. But he looked kind of cool, I guess. He has kind of a throwback look from the 80s, but kind of a futuristic slant on that at the same time. I don't know how to describe that exactly. I liked the other guy better, Charlie. He had the more straight ahead wrestler look. I was looking at my notes just now. I don't have much written about this match, except there were lots of tassels in this match.
Yes, there
Can
were
you confirm, Munson, how many tassels were there in this match?
I'm making a bold prediction, but I'm going to guess at least 100 of them, and they all attached to Cool Guy Sky, because, man, that was a lot of tassels. Like you said, almost like an 80s throwback meet some sort of cyberpunk futuristic type look, I'm guessing. Cool Guy Sky, a former tag team in SPW New Zealand, now breaking out on his own as a singles wrestler, and again, a fan favorite. He did that, the opening of this matchup almost reminded me reminiscent of when Levi Knight, All Night Levi Knight, decided to challenge Uncle Phil Deadly to a dance-off before their matchup. I was almost, and they almost went that same route there. Cool Guy Sky's back was turned, and all of a sudden the Alpha League comes in to try to attack, but Cool Guy Sky, almost like he had it prepared. They were doing a little dance-off, and he was scouting it. He turned his head in the right moment, being able to counter it and kick this thing off. And all night long. That's right, bastard. Levi Knight is all night long. That's true. Fantastic human being. And again, was seen on AEW Elevation just the other day, Papa Smokes, along with a lot of other great talent that we have as well, too, including Michael Allen, Richard Clark, Sean Moore, Zoe Sager, a lot of people that we're familiar with as well, too. But yeah, great night there. But yeah, this one, like you said, not a lot more to say about it. The Alpha League, Charlie picking up the victory here, looking good. Afterwards, they had a promo where Cool Guy Sky saying he might have lost tonight, but again, he's going to make it all about Sky's Rumble. He's going to go and finish that thing off and be able to earn his way to the top of the SPW New Zealand roster. So
yeah. Well, it sounds like Sky just broke up with his tag team, or his tag team just finished. So if he's going to go on his own as a single star, it ain't really going to hurt him to lose one of his first singles matches to an established mid-card guy like Charlie here. Charlie beat him clean. So that is kind of a shot, but Sky will be all right. If he's just going on his own after his tag team, then he'll be all right. He's got time to get some more wins.
For sure he does, yeah. And we want to talk about tag team smokes. Up next is the tag team championship matchup. This one was announced as the Team of Control, which is CTRL, not Damage Control, just Control, people. Don't get too excited here. It's the team of Carnage and Jake Sheehan. Jake Sheehan is the leader of Control, and they were going to be going up against the tag team champions, Willpower, and formerly his tag team partner Hammer, who had walked away from SPW New Zealand, basically vacated his own partner, vacated his own tag team championship. So Willpower had to find himself a partner to join him that night to defend the tag team titles. Again, this could go all sorts of ways, Papa Smokes. We know that, putting two new people together doesn't mean that they're going to be able to do good, even if they're two top people. Willpower has been to the top of this company, but man, Control look dangerous. I think Control have a very cool look about them. I like the promo work that they do with them, the presentation. That is definitely something I really enjoy. I think that they do what Bray Wyatt thinks he's doing, only 8 million times better.
That's high. That's a lot of good praise. I like that right there. It's not going to take much to top what Bray Wyatt's up to today. From what I understand, he can't even get opponents to work with him because they don't want to do that hocus pocus bullshit. But anyway, that's another topic for another time. I hope we don't talk about that another time because I don't want to. You made me watch the Funhouse match. I'm still mad at you about that. But anyway, I thought Control looked kind of cool when they came out. It was giving me vibes of Contra Unit when they came out with the masks and the kind of shiny leather outfits and stuff. And they had a cool metal song, and they had a good light show and video all around the entrance and everything. I mean, this SPW has their entrances down just very nicely, and that's something to be proud of, because it really helps to sell the talent, and it gets the fans invested in every character. But I wanted to, before I forget, give a shout out to the commentators there too, who were quite good. I thought not as exciting as the big league guys. None of us are, of course, but there was nothing fancy about these guys. But they called it kind of World of Sports style, quite straight up, quite sports-based presentation to it. Couple of statistics, but some pro wrestling stuff too. They had a good chemistry and they kept it flowing. I thought those guys were pretty good, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I really enjoyed the commentary. They do a good job, and of course, Dave Dunn, one half of that commentary team, pulls double duty as the ring announcer as well too. So a lot of people putting in a lot of work. Not as fancy as the Video Bros. I don't know if the Video Bros can say we were always fancy. I don't even know if we are fancy yet.
I don't know about fancy.
If you knew how we put stuff together in the early days, oh my, how far we've come, Papa Smokes. It has been a long time since the broken headset on the table with a laptop computer as we're recording PPW matches.
I wasn't sure if you were going to say it on the air. That was the best. That first microphone, just an old Xbox headset with the old mic piece sticking up in the air. Like, wow, we were flying at that time.
And yes, Pete Carter has seen the suit. Yeah, that suit comes out. I try to look a little bit more debonair for the Prairie Pro Show. Maybe I dress down a little bit on stream. Because I don't know about the suit on stream. That thing gets fucking hot. But Per saying, have you seen the birthday suit? Not fancy at all. Back off. You're right, but you didn't need to call me out on stream for it. Jesus Christ, man. God damn it. Basser, I got something fancy. Oh, this is sounding bad already. No, I'm kidding. Something fancy for the next show for you, Papa Smokes.
Oh,
Basser's got something in store for Papa Smokes for April 22nd. And,
boy.
Yeah, get excited. It's going to be kick-ass.
Should I be excited or afraid?
Don't be afraid. It's a good thing. I know what it is. I know what it's all about. You're going to be a very, very happy man when Basser shows up on April 22nd.
Ooh, wow.
Yes, but what do you have for me, Basser? Oh, well, Basser,
careful what you wish for.
Parrish is throwing it out there. Just saying. And Parrish, he's speaking your language, my man. He's speaking your language. Basser, aren't you? I think Basser, we're sometime we gotta get his ass on one of these streams one of these days, Pop Smokes. I think people just don't understand just how exciting and fun he is until you get to meet the real him. Lots of them. Yeah, lots of them indeed. There will be a lot on that night. But going back to this tag match again, Control looking really good. They've got Amber Saint in their corner. But we needed to find out who Will Power's partner was going to be, and I wish we had. I really wish we hadn't. Oh, man, this turned ugly really fast. And I hate to say it because, again, I've got nothing against his tag partner of choosing. It was just so fucking confusing, Pop Smokes, why it went this direction, why this happened on the same night. So the Human Hate Machine T-Rex, who had just had a banger of a match against Jamie Tagataese, comes out as the Human Love Machine. He's got tie-dyed singlet stuff on, and he's being happy and pathetic and hugging people, and I lost all interest at this point. And I felt bad because I don't dislike anybody in this matchup. Will Power can be really good. It didn't get shown as much in this one. It was kind of lost on it because all the focus went on the goofiness of what they were doing with the Human Love Machine, and I think that's what lost the matchup. The highlights, I will say, is that when there was action going on, there was some solid action between some very experienced individuals. Carnage looks fantastic, and they ended up winning the tag titles. So, I mean, I think that it was the right move for the company to put the belts on the more legitimate tag team rather than the one that was put together for a bit of a laugh on this one.
Yeah, and I'm going to go out on a limb and answer your question. Why would they do this? Is I think clearly when Will Power's tag team partner left or was injured or whatever the reason was that he wasn't there, they were stuck for a guy. They didn't have a guy to fill in that made any sense. So what did the promoter do? Well, I've already got a match this night. Here, I'll step in there and do it. It'll just be fine. And I think sometimes that goes badly when dudes just say, well, I'll plug the hole myself and I'll get in there. Look what he's doing to his own character. You've got a mean, vicious heel in the first match, the human hate machine. I mean, my God, what a name for a heel. And then you come out 3 matches later and just completely reverse that. What you have to put yourself in the fans' shoes. What are they supposed to think of this guy? Are they supposed to stop fearing and hating him and then like him for a match and then go back to fearing and hating him? I know fans think the business is beyond that now, but it has an effect, definitely.
Yeah, it really does. And of course, Parrish coming in with a little bit of comedy because that's what he does. He plug the hole. But, I think and I agree with what the reasoning is, what happened. But I think that from my perspective, and I'll just say it from the way I would look at this, is that I think they should have brought him out as the human love machine and confused everyone and just completely switched him up. I think what they should have done is had Will Power say, I searched and searched and searched, and I couldn't find somebody that was on the right level to be able to step in for a guy the size and physicality of Hammer. So I dug down deep, and I went to the one person you'd never expect to have on my side. Have him come out still as the human hate machine. Have him pick up a microphone and quickly say, yeah, I'm the human hate machine, and I hate everybody, including you, Control. Let's go. And just, He wants to kick some ass and, chew some bubble gum, I guess. But I think that would have been a little easier of a transition than what they did, because again, without any TV to explain, did he get a bump on his head that's got him all confused and he's become the love machine? Like, outside of the commentary doing a very strong job of acting confused and trying to, make sense of what was going on, I think that this one got lost on us because of that it was just a complete switch over from a guy we saw just another couple of matches ago. Brother hate, the less perverted brother, and we all know why I say that. Again, and then when you say, it almost reminded me of Mick Foley doing the faces of Foley. It seemed like that's what it became, was we went from Cactus Jack / Mankind to Dude Love all of a sudden within 2 matches. But that's, for me, on a personal level, I'll just say it felt hokey. I wish it hadn't been done that way personally, but that's my thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the fans in attendance really loved it because they have that connection with T-Rex for all that he's done for New Zealand pro wrestling. I could be wrong. I'm just saying from my perspective, Pop Smokes, I would have done it a little different.
Yeah, I get that the fans probably know him and appreciate him and know he's the promoter and all that stuff too, but I think he's just selling himself short by doing double duty like that. And yeah, you could say Mick Foley did that before, but this guy ain't Mick Foley, so I don't think, I don't know, it's not up to me to say what people should or shouldn't do, but it didn't strike me in a positive manner.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll admit it too. I was never a fan of Mick Foley doing the 3 phases of Foley either,
No,
for that matter.
That was stupid also.
Love Mick Foley, didn't care for the whole setup or the Dude Love shit. It just didn't click with me. But moving on from there, let's get out of that stuff, because again, congratulations, Control, picking up the tag titles in that matchup. They look like $1 million. I think that the company can do great things with those 2 guys. Up next, we had the big match, or the semi-co-main event matchup, really, in a sense, the way they kicked off this show. Hooligan Marcus Kool taking on Australia's Jack J. Bonza. So we'll get to talk about but he jumped off a house. Yeah, I know what Mick Foley did, my friend. I've seen the clip about 1 million times, because that one's been shoved down the public's throat enough. This was a very, very much more solid match. Again, it kicked off in a high gear right away. These two fighting before things even started. Exactly what I kind of expect. I liked how this started off. Jack J. Bonza comes out. He's got that kind of almost like military stance about him. He's staring up the rampway as Hooligan comes down. But Hooligan being just that, he's a soccer hooligan, a football hooligan, and he's got tricks up his sleeve. And I love the whole thing. He goes and he tosses his pair of cleats into the ring. Jack J. Bonza catches him, and as he's kind of catching him and being distracted, Hooligan full speed charges that ring, dives into the ring, over the top ropes. This thing kicks off. No bell, though. The referee does not want to get it started under those terms, so the guys fight to the outside. They're starting to fight into that crowd that you talked about, and they get chaotic. They start chanting with, "Fuck him up, Hooligan, fuck him up," and then the table comes out. You think the Hooligan's going to put Bonza through it, but no. Bonza ends up, what was it? And this one looked scary for a minute when Hooligan came to do, I believe it was a Hurricanrana there, which Bonza was to catch him. He nearly just about didn't catch him, and Hooligan's head just about hit the damn floor. And we're not talking about a padded floor. We're talking about a gymnasium cement-type floor here. But manages to catch him. No damage done to Hooligan's head, at least that I know of. But then a lot of damage done to him as he was given a power bomb, a massive power bomb from Bonza through that damn table, and that thing shattered quite nicely, Pop Smokes.
For sure. And I like both these characters as far as wrestling personas go, because Bonza looks cool because, like you say, he's got that military kind of look, but it's not an official military. It's like a militia, which kind of has sinister political undertones to it. He's not getting out there and doing anything outrightly offensive that somebody would be completely pissed off at, but he's walking the line of that really a lot with his beret and all that stuff. He looks paramilitary. I like that. That's a cool thing, because whose side is he on? And he's not, represented by the government of our country. He's in some kind of a private militia, and who knows what their agenda is. That's a clever character. I like that. And then I think Marcus is perfect as a babyface, because he's a good-looking, in-shape guy, and he's a footballer, right? I mean, what's going to be more popular with people in New Zealand, Australia, anywhere in Europe, pretty much anywhere in the whole world? If you're a footballer, people are going to get behind you, and coming out with the cleats and the nice warm-up jacket and everything, perfect gimmick. Around here would have to be a hockey player perhaps, but over there, footballer, all the fans, they're just singing their team's football songs the whole time, and just damn cool. I like that.
Yeah, Paris trying to throw some shade over at the sport itself, but damn you, Paris, damn you. But yeah, I love the gimmick. I thought it was fun because, again, me being a big soccer/football fan, I do really enjoy that kind of stuff. But this was perfect. I mean, Marcus Kool was put in a position where he got a true beatdown right off the hop, and when they finally got to the ring, ready for things to start, the referee checking on Marcus Kool. It's almost to the point they're selling it like this match isn't even gonna. No, soccer, I barely know. Clever, my friend. Clever, my friend. Which website you find that on in your downtime here? But yeah, quite the beatdown, laying on Marcus Kool, looking like he's not going to be able to start. Referee checking on him, and as the referee is about to maybe say, okay, you're getting out of hand now. You're getting out of hand. But as the referee's about to maybe call this one, say that it's going to be a no contest, Marcus Kool turns and he goes, "Just ring the fucking bell." And that the referee does not hesitate. The bell rings and the beatdown commences. Marcus Kool takes an absolute shit kicking for, I would say, 95% of this matchup. Bonza slowly, maliciously just continues to hurt Marcus Kool throughout this entire matchup, to the point where you're like, there is no way he is getting up from this. This is an absolute demolition. But he does the babyface thing. He gets the babyface comeback. He gets the crowd behind him. He gets that energy. And just when you think he's down and out, he manages to pull out that victory out of nowhere. Palms both. This was done right. This was a cool matchup. Really glad they had this one on the card. This one ranked right up there on this one for me.
Yeah, definitely. This was probably the best match on the card. And like you say, I love the booking of this match because, again, nothing fancy. Sometimes the old ways are the best ways. The heel jumps the baby face, kicks the living hell out of him, puts him through a table. Maybe the match won't even start, but no, our baby face, he ain't having that because he's a real competitor. And he knows that he's got the heart and the determination and the fortifications to go through with this match. So he ring the bell, damn it, ring the bell. Then they started, and like you say, 95% of the match, the babyface is selling and selling hard, and he's fighting from underneath. He's trying to get a comeback. He's looking like he's going to get a comeback, and no, Bonza's putting him on his back again. Perfect. The guys played it perfectly, and again, nothing fancy in this booking. This is the kind of booking that has excited audiences for 100 years plus in professional wrestling, and it's just in the way that particular wrestlers will choose to present a match like this, and the moves and the spots that they decide to put in there will tell the story and build this. But the basic story is one we've all heard a million times before. It's just such a good one when it's done well that it will keep an audience on the edge of their seat, and it will keep guys like us podcasters looking back on old matches like this saying, yeah, that was the match of the night.
Yeah, it really was, and I'm glad that we got the opportunity to talk about this one, and that you finally got to see Hooligan Marcus Kool, because he does have that factor about him. I mean, you talk about the football thing. He even mentioned earlier in the night that he played a game earlier in the day, and somebody in the audience goes, "You scored 2 goals." He goes, "That's fucking right, I scored 2 goals." I mean, he has a great connection with that audience. He did a great job, both men did, and what a great matchup. This was going to be followed by the next matchup, and of course, I haven't got to do this in a while, so Papa Smokes, it's time for the main event of the evening. This one is for the SPW New Zealand Championship of the World. Yes, we got a triple threat on our hand. It is champion Shooter Shane Sinclair, my apologies, taking on the former tag team partners Liam Fury and the Falcon Kid. These guys were a tag team known as the Cruisermates. Last I had checked, I think going into this one, Falcon Kid was the one getting a bit of that push going up there. Hold on here. What do we got Parrish up to now? I am a real competitor. Take it on the best on this tour. I am a real competitor fighting anyone looking for war. Dun, 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 dun. And away we go. But yes, Falcon Kid, I know had been getting a push into that main event scene, going up for the championship. He's locked into this thing with Shooter Shane Sinclair. So Liam Fury gets added to this thing. I think that if I'm going to pick this one apart, it's a triple threat. Again, I don't necessarily want to see a million triple threats. I've seen a million triple threats. They're used for the simple thing of making somebody else not look weak. And that's what they're done, and what was done here. They didn't want Falcon Kid to look like he was beat himself. They did not want him to take the loss to their champion, Shane Sinclair. You know who Basser's been watching lately when he says that? Lazy bucket. Sing it like Hooligan's theme, damn it. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I know, Parrish. I know what you're getting at. Dude. I'm not that good at it. But, yeah, so again, like, this is what it was used for. It was used because they didn't want Falcon Kid to take the loss. And that's what Liam Fury was put here for, was so that Shane Sinclair could capitalize on all the work that the Falcon Kid had done, be able to snap that win so they could continue the feud. Understand why they did it. Didn't necessarily love it. I really wish that in this particular card, Papa Smokes, that you would have had the opportunity to see Falcon Kid one-on-one with Shane Sinclair, because the two of them, not taking anything away from Liam Fury. I mean, not saying that he's a negative on this thing, but take the factor of a three-way out of it, put it one-on-one for the belt. I think that this match would have been a lot more solid, because these are two guys that can go. They've got a lot of skill. Falcon Kid, he's one of those guys you could tell would make a great babyface just about anywhere. He's got he's a good-looking young man. He's fiery. He's got a lot of energy. He's one of those guys that can get over, especially in middleweight, cruiserweight divisions and stuff like that too. Obviously clicks very well here in this one. But yeah, okay. But yeah, I want to get your thoughts overall. I know as the match, triple threats aren't either one of our thing all the time, but picking apart each of these individuals, what did you think of them?
Well, yeah, I recognized what this triple threat was going to be when they first announced it. We all know what they're for. I find the messy matches. There's always somebody laying out in the outside of the ring selling for 4 minutes unrealistically while the other guys do spots, and then he sneaks in and attacks somebody from behind. It's so predictable, but yeah, I see what they're doing here. The Falcon kid looks pretty good. He's like their Rocket Shoes Novak kind of. He's a big fan favorite, got a lot of energy, brings all kinds of aerial maneuvers to the table and everything. But and then Fury was kind of like the veteran that was going to help lead in this match, was probably going to do the job, because the one wrestler that I have watched from this, who you recommended years ago, was shooter Shane Sinclair. And that guy's got something going on right there. I like this dude a whole bunch. I might have watched 2 matches back when you first recommended him to me, when we were talking off the air about some of the articles you were writing back then. And he had stuck out to you as one of the top guys from these promotions. So I had watched a couple. A pleasure to watch him again. I had not seen this match, and even though the Falcon kid looked pretty good, you could kind of see that neither of these guys was going to beat the shooter.
No, and he just become champion shortly before this as well too. So his current title reign was just coming about. So I think that was the best way to go about it. It wasn't time to pull the trigger with Falcon Kid winning the top prize, at least not on this night. I don't know if it eventually happened or if down the road that was the plan or not. But again, Shooter Shane Sinclair, like you say, he's got a great look. He's got a lot of personality. He looks like a wrestler. He works like a wrestler. This guy, they've got something in this guy. And again, another guy who, take him away from there, get him world traveled, and he was going to stand out when he goes to other companies as well too.
I think so too. The world is the oyster for Shane Sinclair. I don't know what he's done since this time or how many tours he's done outside of New Zealand. I would bet that he's well known in Australia. He'd be going across and working, because there's a lot of wrestling companies there. But my God, I think a lot of companies would like to feature a professional guy with an awesome look like him.
Yeah. Shooter Shane Sinclair. I think the shooter is an overdone name. How about the traditional Shane Sinclair? Okay, shooter. Shooter is. I mean, it's the term that's been used quite a bit. So I can see where you're coming from for sure. But again, that take nothing away. Just call him Shane Sinclair. The guy has got something. Nothing wrong with the name Shane Sinclair. In fact, it's got a good ring to it. It screams champion, and I'm sure that he'll be champion anywhere he goes. I hope that he manages to get around the world and become world traveled, because I think he is going to be somebody that just people should be watching out for. Same with a lot of these guys. I think that there's a lot of great talent hidden within New Zealand. I think that overall they've got a fantastic thing going on. SPW New Zealand, production-wise, very tight-knit group, clearly. They do a lot of great work. Take away what you will from it. We had some nitpicks with a couple of things, but the shit happens at shows. Like, everybody runs into things. Things happen. We're not trying to dump on these guys. I think SPW New Zealand is fucking fantastic. I like their work. I will continue to support them now and always. I think they are awesome pop smokes. And just overall, what did you think of the show as a whole?
Overall, I think they got a good thing going there. They made good little backstage packages, little video packages introducing the wrestlers. This was my first show watching a full show of theirs. I had no problem following what was going on in the angles and the build-ups to the matches, except for 1 or 2 moments. But they explained that stuff very well. I thought the talent was quite good. Thought the production value was good. And I like that venue. They've got everything put together to have a nice show there. It came across well on TV, and it's got that dark atmosphere with the bright neon lights and everything. It's cool. It's fun for the viewer and fun for the live audience too. you can have a good time at a show like this and see some quality professional wrestling.
Yeah, you bet you can, Papa Smoke. So I'm glad that we were able to talk about these guys finally, especially on the air here. I think that, can't go wrong with it. I think that they do a great job, and I'm glad that we had the opportunity to talk about them here today. Any last thoughts before we let people know where they can find us, Papa Smokes?
Not too much, but I like that we're watching some different stuff here too, and not just American wrestling. I'm a guy that I'm way behind in some of my international wrestling watching. There's only so many hours in the week. I'm trying to get through all the old American and Canadian stuff that I haven't watched before, but there are scenes going on in every country, in every continent, and I'm curious about all of it. And so to watch a show from a small nation like New Zealand and to see that they got a good thing going on there with some strong leadership, some guys just coming together to make a show and to have a wrestling fed, it's awesome. And I'd love to watch more international stuff. We should do that maybe on a semi-regular basis because I'm behind on some of my viewing.
Yeah, you bet. And Chris Parrish saying also, you guys are absolutely killing it tonight. So damn happy and proud of you too. Thank you,
Wow.
man. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it's been electric here tonight. We've had a great crowd, great viewing audience. It's been great. Basser, my man, later, Gators. Yeah, thank you for joining us as always. We are going to be rating out here shortly, so I really, really encourage anybody that is here with us on Twitch, stick around. We're going to be heading on over to Heel Kevin's channel. Man, Heel Kevin, full of energy, just like the video bros. Great guy as always. And Aunty Wuji, thank you as always for being here with us again. But yeah, we encourage everyone to stick around and go and join us to say hello or ole to our good buddy Heel Kevin. If you're following on Twitch or on YouTube, likes, follows, subscribes, all that shit. We love it. Helps us out, helps the content creation here on our local establishment. Papa Smokes, in the meantime and in between time, where can the good people find you?
Okay, Papa Smokes is on Elon Musk's free speech playground known as Twitter at smokes_Papa. And then I'm on Twitch as well at Papa_Smokes_.
Fantastic. That's where you can catch Papa Smokes, and you'll see the ticker down below. That's where you're going to be able to reach out to me. I'm also going to be here with you guys on Sunday with my Brunch Buster brother, Chris Parrish. We're going to be talking all things off the rails with our special guest, the returning Tom Collahue. It's going to be a fantastic time on Busted Out this Sunday, so make sure to check that out. And if you're looking to reach out to us here on our local establishment, down below, that is where you're going to find us on all social media, as well as our YouTube channel, our Twitch channel, and also our email address. All the great ways to get a hold of our local establishment, whether you want to be a guest or be able to tell us what you want to see more of from us. Also, in the meantime, in between time, right in the corner of your screen below Papa Smokes, check that QR code. It's going to take you on over to RogueEnergy.com. That's our friends at RogueEnergy.com, where you can use that promo code OLEPODS to get yourself 10% off of your order from them. That's going to be it for myself and Papa Smokes. Until next Thursday night, have yourselves a great time. Party on, people. See you next Thursday.